Once upon a time, in the heart of an ancient Yoruba village of Ayanf, life moved to the rhythm of tradition and community. The village was nestled in a lush valley, surrounded by dense forests and fertile fields. The air was filled with the sounds of children playing, women pounding yam, and men working in the fields. The people of Ayanf were known for their vibrant culture, rich traditions, and strong sense of community. One of the most beautiful young women in the village was Adetutu, known for her kindness, intelligence, and grace. She was the daughter of Adewale, a respected farmer, and his late wife, Olabisi. After Olabisi's untimely death, Adewale remarried Ayalode, a woman whose beauty was only surpassed by her cunning. Ayalode resented Adetutu's beauty and the love she received from the village. Adetutu grew up with dreams of love and happiness, often helping her father in the fields and participating in village festivals. She was cherished by many, and her gentle spirit made her beloved in the community. However, Adetutu had no idea that her stepmother harbored deep envy and malice towards her. The village buzzed with excitement when news of Adetutu's betrothal to Akin, a brave and noble young man, spread. Akin was known for his strength, wisdom, and a heart full of compassion. He had admired Adetutu from afar, and their union was seen as a match made by the gods themselves. The village anticipated the grand celebrations that would unite these two souls. The betrothal celebration was a grand affair. The village square was adorned with colorful decorations, and the air was filled with the beats of Yoruba drums, songs, and laughter. Women dressed in elaborate iro and buba with geli head wraps, and men wore agbada and fila hats. The atmosphere was electric with joy and anticipation. Adetutu was adorned in a beautiful osso oak fabric, her hair intricately braided and decorated with beads. She looked radiant as she stood next to Akin, who was equally resplendent in his traditional attire. As the ceremony progressed, villagers danced and sang praises to the couple, their voices blending harmoniously with the rhythmic drumming. Under the sacred baobab tree, Adetutu and Akin exchanged vows, symbolizing their commitment to each other. The village celebrated with feasting, dancing, and storytelling long into the night. It was a night filled with love, laughter, and the promise of a bright future. But as the night grew darker, a sense of foreboding crept into the hearts of some. Ayalode watched from the shadows, her face twisted in a mix of jealousy and resentment. She smiled bitterly, knowing that her time to act was drawing near. As the celebrations wound down, Adetutu and Akin retired to their new home, eager to begin their life together. The room was decorated with rich red and gold fabrics, symbolizing love and prosperity. They felt a mix of excitement and nervousness, the weight of their union pressing upon them. However, as the night progressed, a shadow fell over their joy. Akin, despite his tenderness and patience, found himself unable to consummate their marriage. Each attempt was met with an invisible barrier, as if a mysterious force was preventing their union. Adetutu felt a growing sense of fear and confusion. She had been taught about the sacredness of this union, and now, something was terribly wrong. Akin's frustration began to mount. He tried repeatedly, but each attempt left him more bewildered and angry. The couple spent a sleepless night, torn between embarrassment and anxiety. Akin's demeanor started to change, his frustration turning into a cold distance towards Adetutu. The next morning, whispers of the couple's plight spread through the village. Elders and traditional healers were summoned to offer their wisdom. They performed rituals and consultations, but could find no natural cause for Adetutu's condition. The mysterious barrier remained, leaving everyone puzzled and concerned. Desperate for answers, Adewale called for Baba Ifeimi, the oldest and wisest man in Ayanf. Baba Ifeimi was known for his deep knowledge of ancient lore and spiritual matters. When he arrived, the village gathered around, holding their breath in anticipation. Baba Ifeimi closed his eyes and chanted ancient incantations, calling upon the spirits for guidance. After a long silence, he spoke. Adetutu's condition is not of this world. It is the result of a curse placed upon her mother when she was pregnant. Gasps filled the air. The villagers looked at each other in shock. Baba Ifeimi continued, "This curse was cast by someone close, someone filled with envy and malice." Suspicion spread through the crowd, but no one could pinpoint who might be responsible. Baba Ifeimi's words hung heavily in the air. "To break this curse, you must seek the help of the Priestess Orunmila in the sacred grove. Her powers are unparalleled, and she alone can lift such a dark spell." Akin, despite his growing frustration and strange behavior towards Adetutu, vowed to take this journey. He believed that their love could overcome any obstacle, even a curse. Adetutu, though fearful, knew that this was their only hope. Determined to find a solution, Adetutu and Akin set out the next morning, guided by Baba Ifeimi. They carried provisions and wore simple travel attire. The path to the sacred grove was fraught with peril. The forest was dense, and the journey seemed to stretch endlessly before them. As they ventured deeper into the forest, strange things began to happen. They heard whispers in the wind and saw shadows moving in the corner of their eyes. One night, they were attacked by a pack of wild dogs. Akin fought them off bravely, but not without sustaining injuries. Adetutu tended to his wounds, her hands trembling as she applied herbs and bandages. The further they traveled, the more strained Akin's behavior became. He started having strange dreams and would wake up in a cold sweat, mumbling incoherently. Adetutu noticed a growing distance in his eyes, a haunted look that chilled her to the bone. Despite these challenges, they pressed on, their hope flickering like a candle in the dark. Throughout the journey, Baba Ifeimi's wisdom and guidance were invaluable. He taught them to recognize signs from the spirits and how to protect themselves from malevolent forces. Yet, even he seemed uneasy, sensing that something far darker was at play. The journey to the sacred grove was not just a test of their physical strength, but also their mental and emotional endurance. They faced numerous trials that challenged their faith and determination. Each day brought new dangers and mysterious occurrences that seemed to defy explanation. One evening, as they set up camp by a river, they encountered a mysterious old woman who warned them of impending danger. She spoke in riddles and vanished into the night, leaving them on edge. That night, Akin had another nightmare, this time more vivid and terrifying. He saw a shadowy figure standing over Adetutu, whispering curses into her ear. He woke up screaming, his heart pounding with fear. The next day, they were ambushed by a group of bandits. Akin's bravery shone through as he fought them off, but the encounter left him more troubled. His frustration with their situation boiled over, and he began to lash out at Adetutu, blaming her for their plight. Adetutu, hurt and confused, tried to remain strong, but the strain was beginning to take its toll. Despite the growing tension between them, their love remained a beacon of hope. Baba Ifeimi reminded them of the importance of unity and trust. "The path ahead is dark, but together, you can find the light," he said, his eyes full of wisdom and compassion. After many days, they finally reached the sacred grove, a mystical place filled with ancient trees and the sound of whispers in the wind. The air was thick with magic and the scent of exotic flowers. The Priestess Orunmila, dressed in white and red ceremonial attire, awaited them. Her presence was powerful, and she radiated an aura of otherworldly wisdom. Orunmila led Adetutu to an altar surrounded by mystical symbols and herbs. She began the ritual, chanting incantations and invoking the spirits. Smoke filled the air, and a sense of otherworldly energy enveloped the grove. As Arunmila performed the ritual, Adetutu felt a powerful force within her. The priestess placed her hands on Adetota's abdomen, and a blinding light erupted, breaking the curse. Adetutu felt an overwhelming sense of relief and liberation. Arunmila smiled. The curse is lifted. You are free. The words echoed in the grove, and Adetutu collapsed into Akin's arms, sobbing with joy. However, the priestess's face turned grave. The curse was placed by someone close to you, someone filled with envy and malice, she revealed. Akin's heart pounded in his chest. Who? He demanded. Arunmila sighed. Your stepmother, Iolode. She was consumed by jealousy of your mother's happiness and beauty. She sought the help of a dark sorceress to place this curse upon your mother, affecting you from birth. Adetota's eyes filled with tears. The revelation hit her like a storm. She had always sensed Iolode's resentment, but never imagined it could lead to such cruelty. Akin, his anger boiling over, swore to confront Iolode and bring her to justice. Baba Ifeimi, who had been silent, finally spoke. The path to redemption is not through anger, but through understanding and forgiveness. Iolode's actions were driven by her own insecurities and fears. Confront her, but seek to heal, not to destroy. With heavy hearts and a renewed sense of purpose, Adetutu and Akin began their journey back to Ianf. The return trip felt lighter, as if the burdens they carried had been lifted. They walked with a new determination, knowing they had to face Iolode and the consequences of her actions. Upon their return to Ianf, Adetutu and Akin were greeted with cheers and joyous celebrations. The villagers, unaware of the dark revelation, prepared a grand feast. However, the festive atmosphere was tinged with tension as news of Iolode's betrayal began to spread. Adewale, devastated by the revelation, called for a village meeting. In the center of the square, surrounded by the community, Adetutu and Akin confronted Iolode. She stood there, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. Iolode, Adetutu began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. Why did you do this? Why curse my mother and bring such suffering upon me? Iolode broke down, tears streaming down her face. I was consumed by envy and fear. I felt overshadowed by Olabasai and feared that you would outshine me too. I sought the help of a dark sorceress to place the curse, never realizing the pain it would cause. The villagers murmured in shock and anger. Adewale stepped forward, his face a mask of pain. Iolode, you have betrayed our family and our community. Your actions have caused great suffering, but we must choose how to move forward. The village elders discussed Iolode's fate for hours. Some demanded severe punishment, while others, guided by Baba Ifeimi's counsel, urged for a path of redemption and forgiveness. The atmosphere was tense, and the weight of the decision hung heavily in the air. Adewale, despite his deep hurt, stood by Baba Ifeimi's counsel. We must remember that true strength lies in forgiveness and healing. Iolode's actions were driven by her own demons. She must atone for her sins, but we must also give her a chance to redeem herself. The elders agreed on a path of restorative justice. Iolode would be banished from the village for a year to reflect on her actions and seek redemption. During this time, she would be required to perform acts of service and atonement. As Iolode left the village, she carried with her the weight of her actions and the hope of redemption. Adetutu and Akin, though scarred by the ordeal, found strength in their love and the support of their community. Life in Ianf gradually returned to normal. Adetutu and Akin's love blossomed anew, unburdened by the curse. They became symbols of resilience and forgiveness, inspiring others in the village to seek understanding and compassion in the face of adversity. In the end, The village of Ayanf emerged stronger and more united, bound by the shared experiences and the lessons learned from Adetutu and Akin's journey. The tale of the curse and its eventual lifting became a legend, a reminder of the power of love, forgiveness, and the strength of community. If you enjoyed our story, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell for more interesting stories. Thank you.